This is part 4 of our summer 2021 cruise. This time we're going from Portland Marina to Portsmouth Harbour, which is in the Solent. We are making our way across the south coast of the UK, heading from west to east. Our next port of call is Portishead Marina in Gosport, which is inside Portsmouth Harbour. There we are, 6:15 on a Saturday morning with the promise of lovely sunshine later, but at the moment here in Portland it's raining and we're just started the engines and yeah, we'll be on our way very shortly because I'm not going to stand out here in the rain if I don't have to, so I'm just doing all my checks. Here we go. Okay, we're off. Going on schedule. How about that? 6:30. Perfect. In times of COVID, this is where the cruise ships do. This is what they do. They just sit and wait for the plague to go past. Well, we're on our way to Portsmouth Harbour, Gosport, Portishead Marina, and it's going well so far. We've been going now for 19.5 nautical miles. Average speed is quite high because we've got a bit of tide assistance. Sea is smooth, weather's grim, but it will brighten up later. Anyway, this is Dorset, I think it is. Yes, Dorset. Just passed through the firing ranges. Past St Albans Point, and we've got about 36.5 nautical miles to go, and we're slightly ahead of schedule. It's coming in straight on a collision course to be turned, but at least he's turned. Visible in the distance, about 10 miles away, that's the edge of the Isle of Wight. That's the Needles there. There we are. Don't be alarmed by the change of course. I've decided to head up towards the Needles. On the approach here to the west of the Isle of Wight, you've got this sandbank called the Shingles, and we were going to go around it like before, but it gets very shallow. You know, even with the tide on, we're down to like 3 or 4 meters of tide. In fact, if you get it wrong, you could actually be hitting the bottom here, because that actually dries out. So we're going to come around and go the proper way and go right past the Needles. So that should be quite interesting. So we're heading to the distance there. That's the Needles ahead. That's the Needles, about 3 miles away. You can see here on my port side there's a yacht called Northern Lights. He's just turned to port just after the port buoy. I'm about to do the same in a second. So I thought we were going to cross them, but we're turning now. Now we're heading up the side of the Isle of Wight, and we're going to be passing the Needles. It's only a mile away, and that'll be on our starboard side. I'll show you over here, look. There we are. This is a Solent, so we've got traffic everywhere. Watch out, we are on collision course with quite a few boats at the moment. There's red pinging on the radar. This one's burning some fuel. Oh, look. Watch out for the wake. Some don't care. Here we go. I would say we're on a parallel course with this yacht, but we're not. We're actually going converging actually. It's supposed to be called Northern Lights, but it's not. The name on the back is Azure Blue or something. Hang on. Azure Bell. There we are, here's St Evil's. This yacht, to my report, is getting annoyingly close, especially when you consider there was another boat literally heading straight at us. Okay, I've now resumed course. This yacht with the wrong name on it is now falling in behind us. I've just increased speed to get in front of it, but it was literally pushing me off course, and I want to go around this port hand buoy, so the starboard hand buoy ahead, and it's pushing me towards the Isle of Wight. I'm getting closer and closer. Probably 20 metres away, and he was just literally waiting for me to move. He's now coming outside of me now. Quite a bit of traffic through this narrow gap, because we're heading between mainland England and the Isle of Wight, which is, if you don't know the UK, it's a big island in the middle of the English Channel, just off the coast of Southampton and Portsmouth, and there's a very narrow gap between the tip of the Isle of Wight and the peninsula with Hurst Castle on it. I'll just show you that now. You see the Isle of Wight on the right, and that's Hurst Castle on the peninsula on the left. The whole of the water, the tide, has to go through this narrow section, and it's quite shallow. It literally sandbanks appear. We've timed it just right, so we are hitting here exactly. I'll show you exactly at high water. Look at all these red targets. Well, we are in the Solent, would you expect? Okay, we're just passing Hurst Castle, which is there. This big buoy in front is a with two black triangles is a North Cardinal buoy. So you stay north of that. Although at the moment our boat is heading straight at it. And to the right, that's Yarmouth. The nav system wants us to turn to starboard, but I think I'll wait just a moment. One thing we do have to watch out for, this is on a collision course, there is the Lymington Ferry. I think it's going into Yarmouth. Certainly looks like it, and that's my AIS is telling me that's on a collision course with me, so one of us, that means me, is going to have to alter course or speed to avoid it. Okay, here's Yarmouth to my starboard, and that's where the ferry is going. That's the ferry. I've slowed down, and now the closest point of approach is going to be 469 metres, so I'll just carry on this speed for a little while, so I'm sure it knows I've missed it, and then we'll carry on again. Weird looking ferries, you can't tell which is the back and which is the front, because actually the back and front are exactly the same. And the odd thing is that on AIS sometimes the boat seems to be going backwards, and that confuses the collision avoidance software. It thinks it's going the other way. Okay, so I'm a little bit ahead of schedule actually, probably a good half hour ahead of schedule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an opportunity to do something I don't normally bother with, but I should do. That is, I'm going to run on the wing engine for about 20 minutes to make sure everything is okay with the engine. So it's a bit crowded, but so I'm going to keep the main on at the same time. But yeah, let's go for that. Okay, well it started. Let it warm up for a minute and then put it in gear and give the engine a bit of an exercise. Not ain't bad. 4 knots on the wing. Well, that's the wing engine on. There you go, you can tell it's a wing engine because we've got the wet exhaust going. It's actually quite smooth, to be honest. It's a 4-cylinder engine, so it's quite smooth. A little more vibration than your normal because I've got the main running still. I don't want to lose the ability to manoeuvre quickly in this quite congested area. There's still a dozen boats within a mile of us, at least, and they'll keep turning red on the AIS radar. It's got so many dots on it, you don't know what's going on. But yeah, everything's fine. I'm looking at all the numbers. Everything looks okay. So it's wow, we're up to 29 hours on that engine, and that's in just over 15 years. So really don't run it enough. Well, looking at the rudder indicator with the wing on, which is slightly off centre of the boat, we've got up to about 5 degrees of rudder, and of course the main propeller is a big 32-inch propeller. That big 32-inch propeller isn't moving; it's stationary. So that's actually in a great big sea anchor, if you like, and so the boat is sort of crabbing slightly sideways by a couple of degrees. So this wing engine is all analog. So if you want to look at any information on the engine, you have to look at the overhead panel. Just keep my eye on the temperature. Everything is fine. Yeah, voltage, oil pressure, temperature, and that's maximum RPM, just under 2600 RPM, and we're doing 4 knots, 4 to 4.2 knots. Yeah, quite happy with that. I think that's enough now. Don't want to wear it out, do we? There we are, we're now back on the main engine and the wing is now off. The 6-cylinder is definitely smoother. That, as well as the large propeller, which turns about once a week, means we get a lot less vibration. And we've increased speed as well. So we're now up again to 6.5 knots. And we're just gently cruising towards Portsmouth. Plenty of time in hand. side. Straight ahead. See our destination. I can see the Spinnaker Tower. There it is, behind the upmast. Anyway, this picture sometimes looks a bit complicated. There is a bit of tide on that boy. And in the background you've got, that's East Cowes. Or well, East and West Cowes I suppose. We're looking into Cowes. If you're overtaking, you overtake on the port side. Okay?
Alright, and he's on our port side.
No, so he's overtaking. He has to give way as such. He has to make sure that he isn't going to hit me.
Yeah, but he didn't want to do that, did he?
He just thought he'd just give me a big toot of the horn. Done nothing wrong. There'll be a bit of a weight behind his end. A bit of a.
Well, maybe that's why he was tooting you.
Actually see top of the propeller above the water. You can see how fast it's turning. Well, we're now approaching the entrance to Portsmouth Harbour, and as has been for the last 3 hours, there are just boats everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's boats all facing different directions, go different speeds, sailboat, power boats. And it's just constantly looking out all the time, trying to avoid other boats. Boats stopping in front of us and shooting off. Oh.
Intentions are to make another broadcast and ask for assistance to help her into Portland Harbour. You are very welcome to continue.
This is the Solent fire, doing 30 knots. It's hovercraft. Portland Marina, almost on schedule, just about 20 minutes behind, not bad for an 8-hour journey, and the sun is out just as promised. Bigger horn than we've got. I think you must have woke up in Portsmouth with that. That's a big boat. Scarlet Lady. It has to be said that Scarlet Lady actually makes very little wake, but as you can see, a lot of ferries come into Portsmouth Harbour and they do make wake, and that is day and night. I'm just trying to capture the there you go. Multicoloured Spinnaker Tower. It's like someone having a disco. We're only staying a couple of nights in Portsmouth Harbour. We managed to secure a booking at East Cowes Marina, and that's where we're going next. Be sure to join us in part 5 of this cruising video, where we go over to Isle of Wight.